Hello, everyone, welcome back to the channel World Conflict Monitor. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today, we are diving into one of the most intense and dramatic developments in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, a battle that highlights not only the scale of the confrontation, but also the high stakes involved as Ukraine's bold air assault collided head-on with Russia's heavily fortified defenses. Reports are emerging that dozens of Ukrainian aircraft were lost in the attempt to strike at the heart of Russia's strategic strongholds, a move that many analysts are calling one of the most daring gambits of the war so far. On the exterior, the story seems simple. Ukraine, determined to strike hard and disrupt Russian positions, launched a wave of fighter jets and attack aircraft with the intention of breaking through Russia's defensive layers. To the outside observer, this may look like a desperate gamble, but in reality, it was a calculated move, born out of the recognition that Ukraine must constantly prove its ability to fight back and disrupt Russian planning. The sheer number of aircraft involved paints the picture of scale. Squadrons of jets pushing forward into hostile territory, hoping to hit strategic assets and weaken Moscow's grip. The exterior view is that of an all-out aerial push, designed to shock and overwhelm Russia's systems. Now, when we step into the interior of this story, the details become far more complex and layered. Inside the operation, Ukraine's military planners had to weigh risks versus potential rewards. They knew Russian air defense systems are some of the most advanced in the world, ranging from S-300s and S-400s to mobile radar units and electronic warfare networks designed to jam and confuse incoming aircraft. The interior strategy of Ukraine was not simply to fly jets blindly into a fortified zone, but to coordinate waves, use drones as decoys, employ missile barrages to open corridors, and then send in manned aircraft for more precise strikes. However, the Russian side was prepared. Moscow had been anticipating aerial assaults, especially as Ukraine has increased its drone and missile attacks on critical infrastructure. Inside Russian command rooms, operators were closely watching radar screens, air defense crews were on high alert, and coordination between different defense layers created a deadly wall of resistance. The size of this interior struggle cannot be understated, as every decision, every timing, and every maneuver meant life or death for pilots, crews, and the success of the operation. When we talk about performance, it is here that Russia's systems once again demonstrated why they are feared. Performance in this battle was measured not just in how many aircraft were downed, but in how efficiently and rapidly the defenses responded. Russians surfaced, where missile batteries fired volleys with precision, while electronic warfare disrupted communications between Ukrainian jets. Performance-wise, the S-400 systems were especially deadly, striking aircraft from ranges that left Ukrainian pilots scrambling with little room to evade. Ukrainian jets, many of them older Soviet-era models, simply could not perform at the same level against modern Russian defense technology. The performance gap was clear, and despite Ukraine's boldness, it was performance superiority that tilted the battle in Russia's favor. Safety features, or rather defensive measures, played a crucial role here. Russia has invested heavily in creating multi-layered protection, from long-range radar detection to mobile anti-air units capable of shifting rapidly. These safety nets are not just about defending territory, they are about creating a psychological shield, ensuring that even bold strikes by Ukraine are met with overwhelming resistance. For Ukraine, safety features were far more limited. Pilots relied on evasive maneuvers, terrain masking, and decoy flares, but against integrated Russian defense, these proved insufficient. The safety features of the Russian side effectively nullified much of Ukraine's air power in this operation, highlighting a sobering truth about modern aerial warfare. Without air superiority or highly advanced stealth technology, survival is extraordinarily difficult. When it comes to unique selling points, what stands out most in this battle is Russia's ability to showcase the effectiveness of its defense systems to the world. The unique selling point here is deterrence, demonstrating to NATO, to Ukraine, and to any observer that penetrating Russian airspace with traditional methods is nearly impossible. For Ukraine, however, the unique selling point lies in their sheer boldness and resilience. Even in the face of heavy losses, Kiev is showing that it will not hesitate to push boundaries, attempt daring raids, and keep Moscow under constant pressure. These contrasting unique selling point, Russian strength versus Ukrainian courage, form the very essence of this ongoing war narrative. The price of this confrontation, however, is staggering. On Ukraine's side, the loss of dozens of jets means not just the destruction of expensive hardware, but also the potential loss of highly trained pilots, individuals who cannot be replaced easily. The price in terms of morale is also heavy, as the Ukrainian people and military leadership must grapple with whether the sacrifice achieved tangible results. On Russia's side, the financial price of firing multiple advanced missiles and operating their defenses continuously is not insignificant either, but strategically, Russia is willing to pay that price to secure the perception of invincibility. In war, the price is always blood, resources, and reputation, and this battle showcased all three in full measure. In conclusion, what we have witnessed is a vivid example of the clash between bold offense and entrenched defense. Ukraine, driven by determination and urgency, launched a daring air assault that captured global attention. Russia, prepared and fortified, responded with crushing efficiency, reminding the world of the power of its defensive architecture. The outcome reveals both the bravery of Ukraine and the formidable power of Russia's defenses. As the war drags on, this battle will be remembered as one of the defining aerial confrontations, a moment when boldness met steel, and the consequences reshaped perceptions on both sides. This is not just about jets lost or missiles fired. It is about the story of two nations locked in a struggle where every move, every strike, and every defense defines their path forward.